What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Days with Wade. I am Wade, and in this video I want to go over what is Bitcoin, why should you care, and be sure to stick around to the end of the video where I'm going to go over some quick tips on how to get started investing in Bitcoin and in crypto. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first ever cryptocurrency that allows the user to send and receive value online using nothing but an internet connection and a computer. It was created in 2009 by an anonymous person or group going by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, and there will always ever be 21 million coins, no more can be created, and it is the best performing asset class ever, exceeding gold, oil, or any stocks. A common misconception is that you have to go out and buy a full Bitcoin, but they can be broken down into decimals called Satoshis. So how does Bitcoin work? Bitcoin uses distributed ledger technology. Now, that is just a bit of a word salad, but all you have to know is a ledger is a spreadsheet used in accounting that keeps track of debits, accounts, and balances. And distributed means that it's cast out to tens of thousands of nodes and computers. Now, these computers all work together to make sure that the transactions on the ledger, on the accounting spreadsheet, are legitimate. So this means that it can't be tampered with, lost, or destroyed because every single computer has a copy. It is also really hard to hack as well, because if someone did somehow get into a node, they would have to change every single other node to be the exact same way, which is something very difficult to do. So essentially what this means is no singular person or central authority can get into the Bitcoin network and use it to their advantage, meaning that this is just truly a democratic and decentralized system. So I know what you might be asking, Wade, why do we need this fancy distributed ledger technology? What is wrong with the current system? I go to the shops and I tap my card and it works. Bitcoin solves the need to rely on a bank to send and receive and hold your money. The problem with giving a centralized authority power over the money supply is you are giving them a lot of power and a lot of trust that they'll do the right thing. And of course, there's a lot of cases where they haven't done the right thing. So essentially, this system gives power back to the people. Another problem it solves is that it's super quick and easy to send money internationally. If you rely on a traditional wire or money order, this process can take days and go through many middlemen, all of which take a small fee along the way. With Bitcoin, the transaction will cost next to nothing and it'll take about 20 minutes to be verified. So last but certainly not least, the reason why a lot of you probably clicked on this video in the first place is that it's a potential investment opportunity. Over the years, many people have bought and held Bitcoin as a store of value or as a potential long-term investment, but I'm just going to be a bit of a party pooper here and say you guys need to do your own research. All the information provided in this video is not financial advice. So that's it for this segment. What is Bitcoin and why should you care? Now, as I promised earlier on in the video, I was going to share some quick tips with you guys on how to get started. So let's get into that. So tip number one is never leave your crypto on exchanges. An exchange is where you buy the crypto. So if you buy it and leave it on there, that is a big no-no. There's a common saying when you first get started is not your keys, not your crypto. When it's left on there, they have your keys and they own your crypto. There's been many exchanges over the last year that offered a nice 5% interest per annum if you stored your crypto on their exchange, and they essentially all went bankrupt and stole everyone's money. And there was quite a few crazy people that had their whole life savings on these platforms, would you believe? So this is something that happens a lot. It's a big no-no to leave your money on exchanges. The only way to take full control of your crypto is to take it off the exchange and store it in a cold storage wallet. There's many different cold storage wallets, but the one that I use and find easiest to use is the Ledger Nano. If you are appreciating all this information that I'm giving you in this video, there's actually a link to Ledger Nano in the description. It's about $200 or so, but it is worth every single penny. You simply do not want to end up as another victim that's had all their money stolen due to an irresponsible exchange doing dodgy things with people's money. So tip number 2 is come up with an investing strategy. For me, I use a method called dollar cost averaging. Every week, I buy a bit of crypto, and over time, I get a good average entry price. This is the opposite of selling your house, remortgaging your house, selling your dog, and throwing all your money in at once, which can end up very badly. It's a tried and tested risk-adverse way to invest. There's a saying by Ken Fisher, time in the market beats timing the market. The longer you're in the market, the more the odds are in your favor. So tip number 3 is get a hold of your emotions. This isn't the stock market where a 3% drop is a horrifying experience. There'll be many occasions there'll be 20% drops, 30% drops, and this is just called a Tuesday. There's a good saying by Nick Murray that is, don't mistake temporary declines for a permanent loss. So tip number 4 is that it is all gone. This is a great approach to investing. You don't want to invest more than you can afford to lose. I have a strong conviction that the money that I invest will not go to zero, but at the end of the day, anything can happen. And if it does go to zero, I will not end up homeless. So tip number 5 is fight the FOMO. Whenever there's a new project, a new coin, and it's pumping like crazy, chances are all the gains have been had, and everyone who got in early are going to start taking profits, and the project is going to dump. So tip number 6 is take profits. Going back to the investment plan in the dollar cost averaging tip, you need to kind of have a rough idea of at what stages would you like to take profits. And it's good to know that ahead of time, because once that project starts pumping, the euphoria and greed will be high and your emotions will be high, and it'll be that much harder to make decisions when those emotions are running so high. So it's good to know these things beforehand. However, there's many different ways, many different philosophies on how to take profits. It's probably for another video, but that's just another tip to consider, is that no one ever went broke taking profits. So tip number 7 is the 4-year cycles. Bitcoin has 4-year cycles. Let me break it down. The first year is called the Bitcoin halving, and essentially the way Bitcoin was set up by Satoshi Nakamoto is every 4 years, the amount that Bitcoin can be mined, the amount that is yielded from the mined Bitcoin is halved. And so it becomes more scarce. So the following year, everyone kind of goes, oh, wow, it's so scarce now, let's get into it. Everyone gets into it. A new all-time high is reached. On the 3rd year, everyone's going, man, this market is so overheated, it's time to get out. It's going to dip, everyone's going to sell. And then the 4th year is a reset where it just goes sideways. So the reset is where the price stabilizes and the whole process starts all over again. So in a fairy tale world, you would be accumulating in the reset years, and you would be selling at the all-time high, and you'd just be riding off in the sunset. But of course, that is easier said than done. So there you have it. There's the introduction to Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin and why should you care? Whether you're looking for a secure way to send money online or a hedge against inflation in economic uncertainty, Bitcoin has something to offer, and as a potential investment as well. Let's not forget that. As always, it's important to do your own research and make sure you understand the risks involved before you get involved, but I hope that this video gave you a good starting point. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing. If there's anything that you enjoyed in the video that you would like me to expand upon, let me know down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got a lot out of it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.